And we're live here on YouTube, like to welcome those listening in podcast land. And also, hey, hi to my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing today?
Doing good, Mike. So, yeah, wasn't too bad of a work week. Um, Starting to get a little
And we're
warm
live.
at the end of the week. Starting to get a little warm at the end of the week, but not terrible though.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the fall weather coming to where it's not going to be in the 90s anymore.
Or feel like the hundreds.
Or feel like the hundreds.
Yeah. So, it was similar. We're actually coming up on it. We're getting ready for school to start, and so we're pushing time, and we're trying to get everything done so that we're ready for school to start.
Gotcha. All right, Mike. So, got some things to talk about on our show this week. Going into the NASCAR corner to talk about the Iowa Speedway, and previewing the road course at Watkins Glen. And we're going to do our first NFL preview topic, which is the Bears wins and losses predictions. With so far into the preseason, we're going to give you a win or a loss, but we will convey that does not. We will not. We could change once week one. Once week one starts, that'll be one of our automatic picks. Mike, what else are we going to be talking on?
Rich, we got the go talk about baseball as well as our quick hits. With that, Rich, what's it time to do?
Mike, let's go ahead and roll the intro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.
Okay, and we're back. Rich, so before we get into that, we have a poll question. The last summer question of the year.
Well, no, that'll be next week.
Oh.
We have, next week will be our final summer question, but this week's poll question, Mike, was our number 2 seeded farmers markets or drive-in movies. So we know that farmers markets continue into the fall, but when we were making our poll question, we felt that was more of a summer activity than a fall. So we put it into the summer group. So Mike, I know you got the results up. I voted for farmers markets based off of the drive-in movies. You had to wait until dusk. So that's more than likely around that 9 o'clock, 9:30, maybe even 10 o'clock, depending on where you're at or what time of year that you're going. And that's the time that I'm going to bed, not starting a movie. So that drive-in movies are just start too late for me anymore. So that's why I went farmers market, even though I don't think I've even been to the farmers market yet this year.
I've been to the farmers market in the Quad Cities this year. So you got to work on that.
I know I got to work on that, but I still went with farmers market.
I went with farmers market mostly because I just love the farmers market. To me, it's just a great way to do it. So I'm going to say, I said that, and the fans agree with us as we voted for that, and it was farmers market 4 and drive-in 3. The 4 for farmers market, me, Matt Johnson, Danielle Hart, and you. The ones for the drive-in, Pam Hendricks, Josh Hendricks, and Amy Hendricks.
And that surprised me that my own wife would vote for drive-in movies, as we're kind of really aligned on the whole on the time that it starts, and that most of the time that falls under the type of activity that that sounds like a good idea, we should go, and then we never follow through and actually go.
Sounds like she wants you to go.
Maybe. All right, Mike. So next week, I'll probably get this poll question up later on today. We're going to go with our number 1 overall seed grilling versus the number 7 seed swimming, grilling, and swimming. Mike, where can they find the poll questions?
You can find it at facebook.com/fans of Balls and Sticks, facebook.com/Balls and Sticks, and and Rich and Mai's own Facebook page.
Pages. Yeah, and there's a link to get to our poll questions if you are watching us here on YouTube or listening to us on a hopefully on a consistent basis over in podcast land. Mike, do you see what's coming up next?
Is it a left turn, Rich?
It is a left-hand turn, and what's after that?
Is it another left-hand turn?
It is, Mike, and tell them why.
Because we're heading into the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, that is Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. By the way, we do have right turns this week, Rich.
We do, because we will be at the Glen. But before we start talk about Watkins Glen, we got to talk about the Iowa Speedway, which hosted the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. Mike, your race winner was William Byron. Mike, how did our drivers do?
Rich, I didn't do so well. And in fact, neither of us did great, as Justin Haley finished 23rd, which was your pick. And my pick of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was 33rd. And I think they both, Ricky was multiple laps down, and I think Justin was close to going a lap down multiple times throughout the day. Rough day for both of those, but we're at the bottom of the barrel, so kind of to be expected. Rich, you now lead 13-12. Lucky number 13.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike. So as you alluded, we are going to be going to the Glen and making left and right turns for the last time in the regular season.
Yep.
For the Go Bowling at the Glen. So, Mike, it's still needing a good road course racer. And looking through the drivers that I haven't picked yet, I was surprised that Ty Gibbs was not on that list. So I'm going to go Ty Gibbs today.
And as Ty is one of the overall, just a good racer overall, because he is not limited to just a road course racer.
Mm-hmm.
It is very surprising you still have him available, but good job for you. I agree that's a great pick. However, I've already used him, and I've used all of the real road course ringers, so I'm going to pick somebody that kind of sometimes does okay, and I'm going to pick Ryan Priest.
Ryan Pierce. Okay, yeah. I mean, both drivers need a good finish, if not a win, this late in the regular season, as they're both under the cut line for the playoffs.
Okay, Rich. With that, this has been... Oh, wait, you get to do it this time.
No, that's fine. You've already started.
This has been the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, that is Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. Let's keep making left turns as we leave the asphalt and head to the diamond. Rich, I don't really want to talk about it, but the Cubs are in a slump as they split with the Orioles, lost 2 against the Reds, and lost last night against St. Louis. All of them were pretty decisive loss. That means they only went 2-4 on the season. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about that they had the number 1 seed. They would have been the number 1 seed overall, and currently they are 5 games back against them Brewers.
Yeah, the Brewers just right now. I mean, as the losses keep piling up, the thing that keeps going on in my head is, the Cubs just can't buy a win right now, and right now the Brewers just can't lose.
No,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
We thought all the way back at the regular season that this is going to be the Dodgers league to lose, and the Brewers are 71, have the best record in baseball. They let alone not even just the National League, but baseball.
No, I don't think anybody would have picked the Brewers to be the first team to 70 wins this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have thought with the Dodgers roster that they would have at least probably been at 75 by now.
Yeah, I'm shocked, but
the Cubs are still in position to make the playoffs.
Yep.
As they hold the wild card 1 position, making them the 4th seed in the playoff bracket if the playoffs were to start today, which would give them a date, I think, with Philly.
By the way,
they would
Rich,
be going to Philly.
They would, if they were in the National League or in the American League, they'd be the 3rd highest seat, but still the number 4 seed in the 3rd highest record, but still the number 4 seed, because they'd probably end up in the Central, and the Tigers are only 1 game ahead of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still think there's plenty of baseball left. We still have a series against the Brewers where we could make up some of those games. And
yeah. But they got to get right.
Eventually, every hot streak has to come to an end.
And every every slump has to end.
Yeah.
Every slump ends. It might take a year or 2, but, you know.
All right. So this week, Mike, we got 2 more against the Cardinals. Both of those will be primetime evening games, as the Saturday game is the Fox game of the week on Saturday. And Sunday night, they'll be on ESPN for Baseball Night in America. Then they're going to go north of the border to the Toronto Blue Jays, who have the best record in the American League.
Yeah, that's a great team.
And before coming home to face the Bucks for a Friday afternoon game.
It's really hard to sweep a team, so I don't think they lose. I think they win at least one of the games against St. Louis, and I think they win one game against Toronto. So I'll give them 3 because I'll tack on the win against the Pirates. Hopefully, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go even lower, Mike, and say 2.
Okay, I don't blame you. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go a sweep. I think I'm gonna go with those 2 games up in St. Louis, with a split, with Colin Ray kind of a wild card.
Yeah. Maybe
he has a good game, maybe he doesn't. But you got Shota and Managa going on Sunday. With Shota going on Sunday, he's not going to be able to pitch in Toronto. So, and Matt Boyd pitches a lot better in Chicago than he does on the road. So it wouldn't surprise me if we don't win it all in Toronto. So I'm going to give him that win against the Bucks.
Yeah,
with the way that they're playing,
I can see either way going. So, as we're talking baseball, right now, history is being made.
Well, it was made last night. It was made last night, actually.
Was it last night? Yeah. Okay.
As Jen Powell, or Powell?
Yeah.
We'll go Powell. Becomes the first female umpire in league history during this weekend's Braves-Marlins series. It is the story that I had access to didn't say that she would just be on that crew. Did not say whether she would be a permanent member of that crew and continuing on in the regular season. But it's still being a big accomplishment, as that's not a typical, it's obviously not a field that women are a part of. Probably even at the minor league level, you don't see and hear a lot about female umpires.
There have been a handful prior to today that have there's only been, I think, one that's made it to the triples prior to her making it to the show. There might have been a couple others. I don't remember all the way. But
the one that you're most familiar with, Mike.
I know for certain Maria Papagiorgio became an umpire in 1999, worked her way up and made it to AAA, was an umpire of record in the 2006 Futures game and Home Run Derby. She also did a spring training game for the Cubs and Diamondbacks. And to the point that Derek Lee even, I mean, I'm sure he was asked about it and said, yeah, she did great. She got inexplicably demoted in 2007, if I remember correctly. She was in AAA and had a high ranking. Everybody thought, okay, she's going to be moved up, no big deal. And it just was going to be a thing. Like, legitimately, the expectation wasn't even. But, yeah, so she made one person upset. And that person is a big name in baseball. George Steinbrenner.
Okay.
So Roger Clemens did a rehab stint, and Rhea was the calling balls and strikes. Apparently, George didn't like her strike zone. Nobody else really thought it was fair, but it still got to a point where he got mad about it, and on top of it, there were other rumblings happening. She ended up getting released from baseball. It got pushed down to the Double A's, then got released for no real reason. Nobody ever, no real reason was given, and she ended up suing the league and winning. She has stuff from her, I think it's her spring training game. Her equipment is in the Hall of Fame. Is the first woman to ever officiate in a major league game of any sort. And now we have today. She's a good friend of mine. I love the woman. She's great. She's like a sister to me, and a wonderful woman. But should have been 20 years ago when she was doing it. I am happy with the progress being made finally, and us getting to a point where where Jen gets to make it, and she's great, and I'm hoping it goes real well.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard field to break into because there's only so many slots.
Yep.
There's only so many slots, and with the union, it's hard. Once you get that job, it's like one of those jobs that you've got it for as long as you want it.
Yeah.
How long have people been complaining about Angel Hernandez?
Or before that, Joe West.
Or Joe West. Low ratings, but is there with the way the union contract's written up, there's no way you can't demote them or you can't fire them.
Yeah.
Very hard. You just got to deal with it, and you got to wait for somebody to retire to be a part of the permanent crew. It's kind of like a tenured professor, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Essentially.
Once you get it.
Yeah, I would love to, that would be a dream job, but you never, I think there are less umpires in the majors than there are players. And umpires tend to have as long, if not longer, career than the players, because they're not beating their bodies up, so they can do it as long as they want. They might be blind as a bat. Ask Joe West. He was for how many years? He couldn't see anything, and yet he still got to do the job. Nobody could explain why.
Yeah, I think the only thing that the league has any control over, and I'm probably wrong about this, but I'll say it anyway, because not too many people listen to us anyway. But I'd probably say, I think the only thing that they have control over is who gets postseason assignments based on their accuracy or their ratings.
Yep.
But
and
those ratings can't control. Well, you're just going to be limited to being a base runner. You're not going to be allowed over the plate, behind the plate anymore, or you're on watch. And if your ratings don't improve, you're going to go down to AAA, or you can leave, or you're going to be dismissed.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how that works. But I think it's about time. I'm excited for it. And hopefully that opens up the path for more women. And hopefully it just opens up the path so that people with eyes better than, Angel Hernandez, who likes to make it all about himself. Let's get the egos out of umpiring. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, eventually with the age of guys, eventually people will age out, and you'll get a new crew. You'll get fresher eyes and younger umpires in. But I mean, it's a long, hard road because there's only so many slots for AAA. There's only so many slots for AA. So a lot of people just don't, because of how long it takes to learn the craft. Learn the craft and grind in the lower levels to work your way up. A lot of people, probably like Papa Giorgio, just run out of time, and where it's time to stop chasing the dream.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for it, and we'll see how. Again, people age out, like you said. I can't agree anymore with what you said. So with that, Rich, anything else about baseball before we go into the big item of the day, which is the Bears wins and losses? We could hit that other one up at for if we have time type stuff. So
okay, I don't think anything else really out of baseball.
Okay, we do have one other story. So what you guys don't know, we have one other story. We want to talk about the Portland Pickles and them inviting a fan to play, which also reminds me of something that come out of the Savannah Bananas. But those are going to be considered quick hits, as they are not official, like they're official sport stuff. But whatever. We really need to talk about Bears wins and losses because we got to stay on track with that part of the year before we get into outside things, which would be quick hit type things. So with that, Rich, let's go to the NFL as we are going to talk the Bears wins and losses this year. Rich, Bears start off Monday Night Football with the Vikings coming to Chicago. How you feel about it?
I'm going to give them a win in this one. I think that J.G. McCarthy could be a little bit rattled with this first regular season start. And you know what? Both teams will be fully healthy. So hopefully. I'll go win in this game.
Yep, I agree. That's an easy win in my book. So, yeah. Rich, what's week 2 got for us?
Week 2 will be going to Detroit to take on Dan Campbell's Lions, and Ben Johnson will get his probably first time playing his former team that he coached. Because a lot of Lions didn't necessarily follow him down to Chicago, so...
Yeah.
So, I mean, this defense, it isn't like the defensive coordinator is out in New York. So, I mean, I think it was an internal promotion on the defensive side. So that defense, Detroit's defense will be very familiar with Ben Johnson's offense, but at the same time, maybe he'll be familiar with their offensive tendencies, even though it was an external hire for the offensive coordinator position for Dan Campbell. But Detroit's too good. I really hope Detroit's going to be good this year, because I mean the Lions are a franchise that just deserve a good winning football team. So I'm going to give this one a loss.
So you bring up a good talking point, and I think it's a loss too. You said a lot of good stuff there. Is this a make it or break it season for the Lions? If they don't make at least a playoff run, if they don't make the
so if they don't get back to the NFC Championship game,
at least get back to the championship game. Does Dan Campbell start to feel the butt warmer a little bit?
I don't think so. I think he's got some goodwill in the organization, and maybe I could see this being a good gap year
Okay.
Because he lost both coordinators.
Okay. And
some
then
of
there's some truth to that.
some of those coordinators took some of their staff members with them to Chicago and East Rutherford, New Jersey, respectively.
Yeah.
So
I get that. It's one of those things where you start to think, okay, is he still the darling of the NFL? Is that team still the darling of the NFL? And I think they've lost some of their luster. I'm gonna go with a loss there. I'm gonna go with a win coming back after that against the Cowboys. Cowboys are they're the Cowboys, and they have so much turmoil going on there. I don't think they know what they have going.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dallas could be a good get-right game. I'm still kind of scratching my head on why they didn't invest more in the running game, but maybe they're thinking that it doesn't matter who's running the ball behind their offensive line. They're going to be good, so we don't need to invest in a prominent free agent or a high draft pick in a running back.
Yep.
And Dak Prescott could be injured by then, so
yeah, who knows?
So I'll give that a win, even with a fully healthy Cowboys, and it's at home.
Yeah.
Like week 4, they're going out to Sin City to take on Pete Carroll and the Raiders.
I don't think Pete Carroll is the Pete Carroll we thought he was 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago. I don't think that team does anything well. I think it's a bad day. The Bears win. Yeah,
I'll give that a win to the Bears as well.
And with as many direct flights as you can get to Vegas, as easy it is to get to. The thing that we've talked about for years is that Vegas is not necessarily a home game for the Vegas team.
Yeah, you're right. That does tend to be a destination type of game.
Yep.
That people can circle on their calendar and make travel plans to go out and see, and then keep more of their money in Vegas when they visit the casinos.
So speaking of that, Tony and I were, my older brother, who currently lives in Vegas, we're talking about going to this game.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think the cheapest tickets we could get were?
$450? I don't know.
Times that by 10 almost.
Wow.
It was almost $4,000 just to get tickets because they were sold out and you had to buy
in the nosebleeds.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. So, then they get a bye week, week 5 bye week. If they are at 3-1, this is a terrible time for a bye week. Week 5 bye weeks can be terrible if you're doing well. They're great if you're doing poorly at the beginning of the season because it gives you that chance to flip and get right and get things back on track. For a team that even at 3-1, I think that makes it tough for the Bears because I think that means that's an early one. Hopefully you don't get out of rhythm and you can keep things going. We move to week 6, and who do we got?
Mike will be in Landover, Maryland to take on the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. This one's a tough one. I think this is a coin toss. And I even include it as a coin toss. I think it's a pick-em, if we want to use gambling terms. It's a pick-em even with the free 3 that Washington gets for the home game.
Yeah, and I think that game against Washington is an Amazon Prime Thursday night game.
Yeah.
As well. So all eyes will be on Landover, Maryland that night. You know what, Mike? I originally put this as a loss, but I think I'm going to flip it to a win. I'm going to flip this to a win. Because I think, the Commanders came out of nowhere, I think, last year and maybe had like that Jaden Daniels like rush and were really able to surprise some people. But I think maybe a lot of people could be catching on to what they're doing in Washington. So I'll give this one a win.
Okay. I got it as a win. I solidly think it's going to be a win for them. So I'm going to do that. And then we go to the Saints. The Saints nobody knows what the Saints have right now, not even the Saints. So I'm going to go that's a win.
Yeah, that's a win as well. Even in Chicago, the Saints still are a team that I think really needs to hit a hard reset and stop shooting for 500.
Yeah.
Or they just need to let go of the past, and
They're stuck in the Steelers mindset. They're stuck as the Steelers essentially. They're just always going to be a 500 team and maybe slightly above, maybe slightly below, but never a terrible team, never a great team. And one of these
but
years,
8-8 can win that division.
Yeah.
Which is the scary thing. Which
Yeah.
is why I guess that's the only thing I can think of as to why the Saints don't go into a full reset, clear out their salary cap, get out from under all these deferred contracts that they've given people.
Yep.
And commit to a full rebuild and draft picks.
Here's an interesting question as you bring it up like that. Is that why none of that division will ever get better?
Well, I think you have teams like Carolina is still in that. They fully committed to let's draft, develop, let's be strategic with our salary cap, but like Atlanta, Tampa
have
gone for it.
And
But
the
New
Saints,
Orleans,
I think, but if you look at it, they all go for it, but not in the same way. And none of them, and all of them know, well, as long as we're above 500, we should win the division.
that gets us into the playoffs, and who knows what can happen.
And so they all go after it, but none of them. I would agree. Carolina, the Panthers have tried a time or two. They still need to figure out what they're doing there. But none of those teams really look to solidly rebuild all the way because they all have a chance to be in the playoffs if they're 500. So, just a little thought. Okay.
All right, Mike. Week number 8, they're going to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I've never given Lamar Jackson the credit he deserves. You've called me out on it how many times? Still hard for me to say that I think that he's a great quarterback, and I don't know that I would still say he's great. But Baltimore as a team, they're a good team. I think they win this game. I think Baltimore wins, especially being in Maryland.
Yeah, I'm giving this game to the Ravens as well. I think the other being, even if Derrick Henry is slowed up, that team can win as long as Lamar Jackson is healthy.
Yeah.
So,
but as soon as Lamar Jackson has a leg sprain or something like that, this goes back to a win.
Yeah, but right now, it's a loss. It's a loss for the Bears. Mike, week number 9, they stay on the road and they stay in the AFC North as they take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
I love Joe Burrow, and I want him to have a good team, but they never seem to have a good team. So, never have a great team. They have good teams. I'm going to give this as a Bears win.
I give it a loss. If they were facing the Bengals before the bye, I'd be tempted to give it a win, as the Bengals just, for whatever reason, just get off the really bad starts.
Yeah.
And then they put it all together, and they're right there in the thick of it, and they're a team that you start thinking at the end of the year when they make the playoffs, ooh, this is a team I don't want to play. So as long as Joe Burrow is healthy, and this is a great team. So
yeah, I can go with that, but
so I'm going to give it a loss.
Yep. Week number 10, the New York Football Giants limp into town.
They probably will. Yeah.
I don't want to say this is an easy win, but I wouldn't put it as a hard win or as a hard game to play. So I'm going to give it a win.
Yeah, I got to give the Football Giants a win too. At this point, maybe by week 10, maybe there's some question of who the starting quarterback is.
Yeah.
And do you still stick with Russell Wilson? Is Jameis Winston in there by week 10, or have they gone and given the ball to their rookie second-round pick, Jackson Dart, by now? No, Dart was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Is Dart under center because things are they need a spark to get a winning streak going. So, but no, I don't see the football Giants winning this game.
Nope. Minnesota. We go up to the frozen lands up north and check out Minnesota. Week 11.
In Minnesota, McCarthy has got a little bit better handle on the offense, so I'm going to give this one a loss.
It's an indoor game, so weather doesn't matter. It's the week before Thanksgiving, the 16th, or is it the week 2 weeks before? I don't ever remember.
I think it's 2 weeks.
It's a noon game. Still going to be a loss.
All right. Week number 12, they face my anti-favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers in Chicago.
Yep, that's a win.
Yeah, I'm giving that a win too. I even if the Steelers were undefeated, I'd still give the Bears a win because I just hate the Steelers that much.
Well, and the other side is that
will Aaron Rodgers still be on the field by then?
Will he be with the team? Will he any of those questions? Yeah,
he'll be with the team, but what type of shape will a 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers be at that point in the season?
Yeah. I don't
know.
I don't foresee it being a great thing for him. So, yeah, that's going to be a win for the Bears.
All right, Mike, where are they at in week number 13?
Week 13 is a tough game. We go out to Philadelphia. That's going to be a loss. Yeah,
I'm giving them a loss right now, too. Injuries could play a big part in this, as the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing. So if a key player is injured, I could flip this to a win. But right now, with everybody being healthy, I'm going to give it a loss. Mike,
that is the Black Friday game, by the way.
Ooh, that is a national televised Black Friday game.
National televised Black Friday game. By national televised, it's Amazon Prime.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, they're the only game available.
Yes.
As long as you have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
All right. Week number 14, they go to Green Bay and face the Packers for the first time this season.
Yeah. These aren't the Packers we knew before. They are very similar to last year, but I think the Bears improved enough that I think the Bears can win this one.
All right.
I don't think that the Green Bay improved enough.
Okay. With the game being in Green Bay, I'm going to give it a loss.
Okay. Browns come to town on week 15. That's a win.
I agree, Mike. They've got,
and it's not just. By the way, you're making my point. Go ahead and make my point for me, Rich.
You got 4 quarterbacks in that room, and they're calling it an open competition.
If you got one quarterback, you're in good shape. If you got 2 quarterbacks in the room that expect to be starters, you got none. What happens when you got 4?
I don't know.
You got chaos. You got chaos. There's no way this team is a good team at all at any point in this year.
Yeah. Are you doing the
rapist, other rapist, or the 2 rookies?
The other rapist.
Don't they still have?
Joe Flacco was never.
Oh, I forgot. Joe Flacco's the 4th that they brought in. Oh yeah.
Joe Flacco. Watson's out for the year. He's not in the equation. So you got a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. You got a failed first-round pick from 3 years ago in Kenny Pickett, and then you got 2 rookies that were drafted in the 3rd and the 5th round in Dylan Gabriel and Shadir Sanders. That's oof. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I forgot that Deshaun
Watson's not in the picture this year.
He erupted Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't care who's under center. That's going to be a loss.
Yeah.
That's going to be a win for the Bears.
I think it's going to be a win for the Bears, but it makes it hard because I love Joe Flacco so much. I love Joe Flacco. But he's like, what, 50 years old?
He's in his low 40s, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe even his mid 40s by now.
Yeah, he's...
Like week number 16, the Packers come up to Chicago, or down to Chicago for that matter.
2 out of 3 weeks we see the Packers. It's at home.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a win.
Yeah, this is the one I'm giving them a win. It's at home, so if they lost, whether it was a blowout loss or a close loss, you're going to have some fresh game tape on them. So that's why I'm giving them a win.
Yeah, I can go with that. Then we make a trip out to San Francisco.
Yeah, a late season West Coast trip.
I think this is the season that Brock Purdy comes back to earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the San Francisco 49ers are not the team that everybody wants them to be. So I think this is a win for the Bears.
I'm going to give it a win as well, but I think it's going to be because of a key injury to Christian McCaffrey being gone. Or maybe George Kittle. Maybe one or both of those guys are injured. So that's going to put more pressure on Brock Purdy.
Yeah, no, I can go with that.
Play a bigger part of the game rather than having 2 superstars out. So I'm going to give that a win as well.
Okay.
And Mike, we end the season with a home game against the Detroit Lions.
Hard to beat a team 2 times in a year. Bears win, end the season at 13-4.
I'm giving them a win against the Lions as well. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be cold. Detroit's an indoor team.
Yeah.
Their quarterback is a well-known, plays a lot better in the dome in controlled elements than out in the cold in Chicago. And by week 18, maybe they've already got their playoff seed determined, and a win or a loss isn't going to do anything for them, so they could rest their starters. So I'm going to give them a win, and that gives them a final record with my predictions at 11-5.
11-6.
11-6.
They play 17 games.
Yes, they do. 11-6. I was told that there would be no math.
Hey, that's all right. I got your back. I got your back. I think that's probably a very accurate depiction of the weekend. I think both scenarios are very could happen. So here's the difference, and let's talk about the differences. Coin toss games for me. The Cincinnati Bengals game, I think, is a very close game. Anywhere where it was a very close game, I'm giving my team the win.
Okay.
So
and you went aggressive with wanting them to see them sweep and take the series against the Packers, where I gave them a split.
It's not, and again, yes, part of it is that I just don't want the Packers to win ever. But the other part is I think the Bears did some great improvements. They look really good. They look like they've gotten some protection. They've made a pocket. They've actually made a pocket this year, Rich. And that pocket's going to be a huge thing to help this team. And with that, the Packers, I don't think, improved enough to do anything. So there's that. Those are the 2 wins. The Green Bay, the game in Green Bay, and the game in Cincinnati. A really close game on one, and one that I think that truly the Bears improved and the Packers didn't. I know that, as I said for the Lions game, that it's hard to beat a team to beat a team twice, which is why I gave it to the Bears. I just don't think the Packers are going to be that as good of a team this year. I don't think they've improved as much. So, but I've said that the last couple of years and have been dead wrong. So,
and then the Packers get 2 wins, beat us both times.
Yeah, I know. With that, Rich.
All right, Mike, so next week we keep talking NFL football, and we'll be giving our division and wild card predictions. So basically, who's making the playoffs?
Yeah.
Really early season, who is going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
And then August 22nd, 23rd, we're going to talk fantasy football, as that's a good weekend to do your drafts. So maybe your Labor Day predictions aren't or your Labor Day plans aren't being impacted. But so yeah, fantasy football on August 22nd, 23rd.
And then 30th, we have our Super Bowl predictions, and we also have to do our first Thursday night game of the year. And then after that, we're all football. We're in the regular season, baby.
That's right. As we got to pick 2 games that Labor Day weekend, as we will not have it, as obviously the Brazil game could either have kicked off and be in going on while we're recording, or it could be, or if we do a Saturday morning show, it would have already taken place.
Yeah.
We're going to give you that. We're going to make that a mandatory pick game that cannot be included as a lock or in upset pick.
I believe that will definitely be a Saturday day at best, because that I'm coming down that weekend.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, and then then the 5th and the 6th, right after the Labor Day weekend, that it's
football. All football all the time.
All right. All right, Mike, so that puts us into our quick hits.
Yeah. Let's start with
let's start with the Portland Pickles.
Yeah.
You know that was an odd thing. So the Portland Pickles are an unaffiliated league. It is a wood bat, like college, like prospect league. So college guys that maybe that want to continue playing ball after college, but they haven't been drafted yet. And I didn't get a chance to go out and see a Portland Pickles game when I lived out in Oregon, but they were out there. But for Fan Appreciation Weekend, they invited a fan to take an at-bat. And the dude, in his first at-bat, works a walk, steals second base, and then scores a run.
Yep.
Second at-bat, he hits a home run.
Yeah. Yeah. How great is that?
Yeah. So, I mean, surface level, no research is like, wow, this is cool. How you couldn't have scripted that any better. Do a little bit more research, you find out the fan was actually a Division III baseball player at the local college in the Portland area, Lewis and Clark University. But still, he still, whether it was a random,
I mean, he still ran down.
How loose?
Just
it
because
could be a loose random fan, but he was still a fan at the game who was picked to take an at bat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was awesome. I love it. And it's similar to which brings me to the other baseball story. Did you see Doug Flutie throwing out the first pitch?
At that game or at a banana game?
At a banana game.
Well, the thing is, that wasn't probably a first pitch. He came in and pitched an inning or two a batter in a Bananas game.
So the Bananas rule is the first pitch is actually an active pitch, and normally they don't have anybody in the box. What if you throw a strike? They call it a strike, and the batter starts with one strike. If they call it a ball, the batter gets a ball, and then they start the rest of the game. Doug Flutie comes out and says, "Get in the box!" Points at the guy and says, "Get in the box!" And the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, "Get in the box!" So Doug Flutie goes to throw it, bounces it. And he's like, telling him, "Throw me the ball back. Throw me the ball back. Give me another one." And the Bananas pitcher's like, or the catcher's like, "What?" Looks over at the owner who's down there talking and he's like, "Sure." So Doug Flutie got to pitch an entire the first at bat of the Banana League game at Fenway, and on top of it, the fans had 2 times that they had opportunities to help Doug Flutie out. They dropped it both times. Doug Flutie did, however, end up getting the out. So, yeah.
So he pitched a third of an inning.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
In banana ball.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole fan taking an at bat seems like a stunt that you would see at a banana ball game, whether it's randomized random fan in the ballpark or as a or like you have people scouring the stands to say, all right, did you play baseball? Would you like to take an at bat? Or before we bring you into the game, as the random fan of the game, let's see, do you have any experience on this, or are they? Or
I think, and I like what you're saying. I think what would be fun, and again, I'm sorry. So here's the problem I have with it.
Okay.
Banana ball 2 years ago, before some of the newer rules have been implemented, seemed like a viable option for an actual sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing they did, there were gimmicks, but nothing they did was so gimmicky that they couldn't.
It wasn't out of the realm of fun. It seemed
Right.
like, all right, you know what? Yep, I can live with that rule. All right, yeah, that is kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
the no bunting, no stepping out of the batter's box,
But
no mound visits.
stuff like the first pitch counts as a pitch, or
Yeah.
The whole
The golden batter. The golden batter.
I don't even care about. Like that one is
Okay.
even one that, because it's a batter that you have that you want to make sure your golden batter gets up in the 9th inning. That's fine. I get that. I'm not mad
Or
at
at
that
any
one.
point during the game, you could have the bases
Yeah.
loaded and that's a key moment to where you want to get that grand slam. You want to make sure you get runs in, so you pull in your golden batter.
Right. I don't mind that one as much, but I don't like the rest of it. So, okay. With that, Rich, you have a couple stories on here. Which one do you want to do next? We got about we're at 51 minutes. Do you want to do either of the two left? I think this one, the Ohio one will be quick. The other one
let's
will
do the Ohio regulations.
Okay.
So recently the Cleveland Indians have the Cleveland Guardians, sorry, my apologies, ran into issues where two key bullpen relievers have been put on the administration list by Major League Baseball for betting accusations. And it's stemming from these first pitch wagers. So now the Ohio regulations are weighing a ban on first pitch micro bets. Like, all right, will the first pitch that this pitcher throws be a ball or a strike? Basically, outcomes that could be controlled by one single player, not a like an out, or not as like it's going to be a ground out, or it's going to be a strikeout, or the first out of this inning is going to be a strikeout. This player is coming into the game. Is he going to throw a ball or a strike?
Well, first and foremost, they should be banned for life if they're changing these things. If they are doing something to hurt the game, they need to, with any sort of sports betting, they need to be banned for life.
But what if they're not the ones doing the bets, but maybe they know somebody that's betting on the game, that's betting on that pitch, so they know trotting out is there for their first inning, I'm going to throw a ball this inning if I get into
Here's
the
my
game.
question.
So if I come into the game, bet ball.
Shoeless Joe Jackson didn't bet on a game.
Yeah.
Shoeless Joe Jackson didn't shave points in a game. He got banned for life because the rest of the team was shaving points. They weren't not even half of them were gambling. They just were making money from the gamblers by shaving points. How is intentionally throwing a ball
any different
than shaving points to guarantee an outcome?
I would say it probably would be no different.
Ban that man for life. Period.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean it's not. I mean, it's Luis Ortiz, probably a guy that you haven't heard of unless you're an Indians fan, but their all-star reliever Emilio Clase
Yep.
got banned. That's the closer, a perennial
Yep.
all-star closer,
Ban him.
is on the
If
administration. He is on administrative leave while
if
they were
he
investigating this.
if it comes out that this is accurate, ban him for life. All I have to say about that. So I'm not putting up with that stuff. That's dumb. So, okay, with that, Rich, it's that time of the show where we give shout-outs. I have no show shout-outs. I have no live shout-outs, or comment shout-outs. So I do have to give one more shout-out. Thursday was my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Danielle. Also, it was my boss's Phil's birthday as well. And, next week I got 2 shout-outs.
Okay. No, I don't have any shout-outs this week. A future topic to that we might work into the outline is stadium rankings. As Mikey, you found a post on the Facebook that ranked of the 4 major sports, their rankings as compiled by Google, Yelp, or Travel Advisor rankings, Mike. So we'll maybe compare where we've gone and see if we agree with the rankings, or if we'd have a particular park higher than this poll that you found, that or these rankings that you found.
Yep.
So tune in next week for that. So Mike, our poll question this week is grilling versus swimming. You can find that on Fans of Balls and Sticks, as well as Mike and I's page. Mike, if they're seeing this video over on YouTube, but they just want the audio, Mike, where can they find us?
Anywhere where you find your podcast, we are there. Rich, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or whatever they're calling it now, and even iHeartRadio. So, with that, Rich, folks are watching or are listening to us on the podcast. They want to catch us live. Where should they do that, and how should they make sure they're notified?
Make sure to find us over on YouTube at Balls and Sticks, and make sure to like and comment. Turn on the little bell. So even if you're watching us here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, comment, and subscribe. Help the algorithm, and the bell will also remind you and put our newest videos up on your.
Well, the bell will tell you when we go live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the bell will tell you when we go live. So, yeah. Okay, with that, Rich, let's go ahead and roll that outro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.